Bitcoin has just broken above one of the most important downward sloping resistance lines, and right now we have created a massive CME gap. So on today's video I will be talking about the most important resistance levels ahead of ourselves, the big support levels laying below us, and of course I will be talking about the larger time frame, what is currently happening with Bitcoin, why are we bouncing, and what should we be looking at to be happening next on Bitcoin. So without any further ado, guys, this is a very important video, so don't forget to slap off that like button back above 800 likes. That will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. So first of all, over the course of the weekend, this little recovery on Bitcoin started. And due to the fact that we pumped over the course of the weekend, we have created a massive CME gap. And to be exact, the CME gap Bitcoin created was from $60,000 all the way up to 62,000 US dollars, which is actually quite the largest CME gap we have seen in a very long time on Bitcoin, because almost every single weekend, just like we did last weekend, like we did the weekend before, like we did the weekend before that, and honestly, I can keep going on and on and on, but we've never created such a big CME gap, and every single time we did create the CME gap, it took us only an approximately day before we filled it up. So right now we created another one, but will this CME gap get filled up? That is the big question we need to be answering, right? So of course, CME gaps, they tend to get filled up, but not always get filled up. So never base your 100% opinion purely based on the CME gap. But I do want to be pointing out, we are creating a massive gap right now. So while all this has been happening, actually, since Bitcoin broke this downward sloping trend line right here, which previously ran flipped us, of course, in support, now flipped into resistance, and now we broke above it. So Bitcoin broke this very key important level in the market, and actually it started to be breaking higher. And just like I said in the previous video, and just like I said in many videos before, Bitcoin is still trading in a downtrend until we break the previous range high in the market. And the range high is this level in the market right here. Why? Is because this was the point where the drop-off really started for Bitcoin. And now we have seen an ever so slight recovery. And if we can take out this previous high right here, so the yellow box, that is the point where we're going to be seeing that confirmation that Bitcoin is actually creating a larger trend reversal. Right now, on the imminent short term, we're seeing an ever so slight uptrend getting started with, of course, a higher low structure and a higher high structure. But on the bigger perspective, if we want to be flipping this massive downtrend we've been creating, we need to be breaking above that yellow box. And the yellow box is going to be arguably the biggest resistance Bitcoin is going to be facing in this entire trend. And the chance that Bitcoin is actually going to get a rejection from this is still quite big here. And I pointed out while we were trading on this lower side of the range that still Bitcoin can move towards the upside, but until we break above the yellow box, that is the point where we're going to be flipping bullish. So I'm going to be keeping my close attention towards this exact level right here. And whenever we're going to be breaking above that level, I will be saying that we're most likely going to be pushing back up all the way to like 74, 72,000 US dollars, because like we know, still the majority of the liquidity is laying around that region. And I think that ultimately Bitcoin is going to be going higher, whether it's going to be already right now or whether it's going to be a little bit later in this consolidation phase. We are going to go back towards the top side of the region. It's a matter of time, but I'm not quite sure it's already on this move right here. So I don't want to get too overexcited on this little bounce we're getting. Since we're creating a CME gap, we're still trading in a bigger downtrend, and we have not confirmed that break above that previous range high. So that is what I'm going to be looking at, but I do want to be saying that ultimately we are going to be breaking towards the upside, and we are going to be hitting that liquidity zone, which is laying around 72,000 US dollars. So also, there's been a massive bottom signal flashed on Bitcoin because miner capitulation is hitting all-time highs, which means that miners are rapidly selling their Bitcoin and they have almost no reserves right now, which means that the sell pressure from the miners is significantly reduced. And that basically means that there's going to be less sell pressure in the coming periods in the market. And that is, of course, an overall very good thing for the market. Also, looking at funding rates, they remain to be negative on Bitcoin, which means that the majority of the people are still shorting Bitcoin, which I do really want to be pointing out. Then here on the 12-hour time frame, we can see that we broke this downward sloping trend line. I think it's very important to look at this trend line, and I think it's very important to see that Bitcoin is right now finally seeing its first little bounce back towards the upside. But I just want to be pointing out that we need to be breaking above this very critical zone here in the market in order to see a bigger reversal for Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin finally broke this important downtrend, but still in order to see that next big push towards the upside, we need to be seeing that confirmation of that break above the previous range high in the market. So yes, Bitcoin bounced also from the most important support blocks of this entire region. I said that also on many videos before that, yes, Bitcoin indeed is most likely going to be bouncing from this region. And if we were to be coming down here, guys, there are two levels where I want to be accumulating more Bitcoin. And my first level is going to be 56 to 57,000 US dollars, because this is where the remaining of this previous liquidity in the market is laying. And if we then break below that level, I'm going to be accumulating heavily around 52,000 US dollars. So I already set up my orders actually on Bybit. Like you can see right here, I set one order. Oh, you can't actually see because my face cam is in a way. So let me quickly remove my face cam. So you can see here on the left side of your screen that I set an order around 56.9K. I'm going to be opening up at that point a 900,000 US dollar long position on Bitcoin. And if we're then going to become down towards 50,000 US dollars to 52,000 US dollars, I'm going to open another 1.5 million US dollars worth of Bitcoin buy orders around that level as well. So I'm going to be accumulating an approximately 2 to 2.5 million US dollars worth of Bitcoin in this region between $56,000 and 50,000 US dollars in the case Bitcoin is going to come down here. And if you don't know what my strategy is, if Bitcoin doesn't come down at all, I don't care, because I've got already a multi-million-dollar altcoin, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency portfolio out there. And if we bounce from this level, I'm going to be benefiting from it anyway. So it's a little bit of a hedging strategy I currently have to maximize my profits in this market right now. And if you want to be joining me with this trade, or if you want to be trading yourself, or if you want to be trading, in general, don't forget to check it out in the link description of today's video, because guys, we currently have an insane opportunity for you guys out there. Because if you right now sign up an account using that link in the description, you can currently claim a free $500 US airdrop position. And all you need to do for that is go to the link description of today's video, press on this link, sign up an account, and you could be claiming that insane free $500 US airdrop position. And on top of that, you could claim a deposit bonus worth up to 30,000 US dollars. So if you're interested in that, check it out in the link description of today's video. So going even further in towards the content, currently looking at Bitcoin, we can just see that ultimately we're bouncing from the most important region of this entire consolidation phase. And if we're just zooming out here, we can see that in the bigger things of it all, we're just still consolidating in this massive pattern right here for over 125 days, or even longer already, if I say it correctly. Yeah, it's about 128 days here. So Bitcoin is still consolidating, and ultimately we're going to be going higher, but it's just a matter of time, and we're just in a big consolidation phase around the all-time high. So things are looking good for Bitcoin ultimately, but it's just a matter of consolidation. So you can see also on this very important trend line here on the 3-day time frame, or you could be approaching it on the daily, whatever you want. You can see that Bitcoin also exactly bounced from this level. The first time we touched it, we straight away bounced up higher. And I think that this is also going to be an important level to be paying attention towards in the near future, because this is apparently going to be a big level for Bitcoin where we seem to be bouncing from every single time once we do really touch it. So yeah, this is going to be an important pattern. We're creating a massive ascending triangle here on the larger time frame, and really, if you're zooming out to the monthly time frame as well, you can just see that we're consolidating sideways for about 4 to 5 months right now here. But honestly, consolidation isn't bad for the market. It's right now also July. It's a new month. So yeah, new month, new opportunities. But just like we had in the previous bull cycle, just moments before we went absolutely exponential, we went sideways for an approximately 3 months here. And sideways consolidation isn't bad. It is, however, very boring, but it isn't bad for the market. It's actually way better for the market to have some sideways consolidation, and especially since we're trading around all-time highs, it is very good for the market. So this was the crucial update I had for you guys out there. So if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to slap that like button, and of course, if you learned something from it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because I'm making this video every single day. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.